Good afternoon. This is Rubbin'Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Obiuchendo. Thanks a lot for joining us. Today we have a special focus on a sector that continues to bother Nigerians, and rightly so, security, or the lack of it, like I always say.
The security problem in Nigeria is one that has been for years. What strategies have worked? Which has failed? How can we fix the security problem in Nigeria? Today on Rubbin'Minds, we have a focused conversation on security. To kickstart the show today, Ebuka Obiuchendo chat with security analyst Kikelomo Shodeko. Next on Rubbin'Minds.
I have with me Kikelomo Shodeko, who is an intelligence analyst. Thanks for being here today. I read some time ago, not too long ago actually, about the fact that the northeast and Boko Haram's sort of territory seems to be spreading again. Is that a fact? Because one of the biggest bragging points that this government has had over time has been the fact that they've reclaimed territory that Boko Haram claimed. Is that a fact that they seem to be reclaiming territory again, and how bad is the Boko Haram situation right now?
You know, the truth is, every time we want to talk about what the government has been able to achieve with the Boko Haram insurgents, we mostly have to rely on open source and human intelligence. So it is what we are being fed, we have to pick as facts. So we can't go around with our own ideas of what is happening. So the question is, human intelligence, are they telling us that Boko Haram have invaded their communities again? The open source, that is our media houses, our newspapers and our online media houses, are they telling us that Boko Haram is taking over? The military even has an online presence, and they always tell us when they're attacking locations and all that. So we have to always, in this kind of situation, rely on those types of intelligence. So we can't cook up our own facts. So based on, for example, if we want to confirm that Boko Haram is taking over a community or are reclaiming territories like we've been hearing, then we need the facts. We need the figures. We need to know which community, which area, which location, which part of the state or another state are they in, as the case may be. So that is where the issues lie. So as much as we want to find solutions to this problem, until we have concrete evidence, that is human intelligence or open order, we really can't say.
I agree with you there, but how do we then get this information? Because the worry has always been, are they telling us enough? Telling us the truth is a whole other conversation. Are they telling us enough? How much do we need to know? Because intelligence is intelligence, we can't know everything. But Nigerians also feel like we never really know what's going on with regards to security or the lack of it. How are they telling us enough, you think? Those who should be talking to us.
The truth is, we should check the government in times past. We've not even had as much information as we are having now, considering that the internet is open to all of us. So when a villager or a local finds out an issue, a code or something, they can easily just go on Twitter and go, "Oh, my village is burning, help me," So are they telling us enough? I think that is where the discretion of the military people are. They always have to decide what they are telling us. They decide. They are the ones in charge of our security. What we do is, which is difficult at a time like this, is trust them. It's difficult. I assure you, considering that people are actually facing life and death situations and they don't know how they might survive the next day. We basically still have to rely on the discretion of the military to tell us as much as they want to tell us. And I assure you, they've greatly improved over the years, because before we wouldn't even know if there was airstrikes in Damasak or in Kukawa. But these days, we know about them. They tell us. The military themselves put up information and they say, "Oh, this is happening right here, right now. This was what we're able to do, and this was what we're able to counter and repel," and so on.
Are they doing enough, you think, to secure Nigeria?
Exactly. Those are the questions. That's a very good question. I always say something like, "How do you know enough?" That's the first thing. How do you know enough? Considering the terrain that we work with, how do we know if they're doing enough? In the sense that the vastness of the states themselves, the states are so gigantic. Where are the settlers in? Where is the location of the military? Are the military coming into those places? It's a very good question, and I do believe someone in the military, like the Chief of General Staff, could do that for us and tell us, oh, the military are doing enough, but this and this and this are the issues we are facing. Maybe the terrain is tougher than we expected, or our reconnaissance vehicles cannot plow through some particular locations. So it is a good question, and I would also like to know an answer to that.
Now, beyond the Northeast, there's a lot of other issues that seem to have been a problem, especially in the recent past. We heard a lot about the herdsmen issue and the people being attacked, and they started moving even down south at a point. I don't know if it's COVID, but we don't seem to have heard a lot of that recently. But that still seems to be happening. I mean, in pockets, you know, the kidnappings are happening. Robberies are on the uptick in a lot of parts of the country now because people have been without work and money for so long now, and they need to find a way to sort of survive, and it looks like innocent Nigerians are bearing the brunt of that. So there's a lot happening. On the other side, there's a complaint about the fact that we've had service chiefs who've been there unchanged for the first time in probably our history for this long, and not, in a lot of Nigerians' opinions, doing or showing enough results for what they're doing. The Inspector General of Police, or the service chiefs, as it were. Where does that leave the average Nigerian with regards to looking at government and saying, okay, because we've talked about whether the military is doing enough, but looking at government to say, Nigerians are complaining a lot about this, a lot of things, but it doesn't seem to be that sort of push from government saying, okay, let's try things differently. Do you think we need a change of guards at the top of our security echelon where we say, okay, let's try something different, or let's rejig things? Because people don't seem to see that happening when things seem to be either remaining the same or even getting worse in most instances.
Yeah, the thing is this, every time the government wants to make a decision, especially when it comes to changing service chiefs all around, all the military heads, I believe they put into consideration so many factors, right? And the service chiefs that have been chosen now, to be frank, the question is are there reports showing what they've been able to do?
The Nigerians can see the number of deaths.
Yeah,
there's a lot that
that's
says
the thing.
that
Yeah,
people
because
are not.
Human intelligence is telling us people are being attacked on all sides, either kidnappings or robberies, farmers being attacked on their farmlands, people with arms generally moving around at a very larger pace than we should even be expecting in that sense. The truth is, well, from my perspective in this case, is that will it actually change anything if we change the service chiefs? Because the reason we think that way is because we always believe that when we change things, especially the people at the helm of power at a particular moment in time, it's supposed to galvanize and reboot things and make things a bit more hot. But the question is, what if they do change the service chiefs and it remains the same? What do we say then?
At least we would have tried, don't you think?
Yeah, tried in what sense? From whose perspective?
So
is it the people that will feel that, okay, I think the government heard us, or the government feels that, okay, this person is the most competent person I can find for this situation. So for the meantime, I hope it can figure it out. Let's give him a chance. Do you get what I mean? So this is the tone of, the thing is, I really love it when Nigerians can understand the tone of every government. That's where the analysis part comes in. When you look at a government and you look at the government and say, okay, how is this government handling issues on a general perspective? When it comes to ministers, how do you change the ministers? How do you change the service chiefs? So when you see the tone of a particular government, try and understand, and that's where communication also comes in. Communication, the government has to communicate to us and let us understand, oh, the reason these people are remaining as service chiefs is because this.
Are they doing that?
That I don't think so. I've not seen a media person write us and say, oh, the service chiefs are remaining. This is the decision of the government.
You've talked a lot about in your opinion.
Yeah.
In your opinion, are the service chiefs doing a good job?
How can I measure it?
I mean,
Ebuka, how can I really measure it?
See how you can measure it. You're a Nigerian. You're an intelligence analyst.
Yeah.
You see reports. You hear reports. You're also human. You know the death tolls. So before they came in, you knew how bad things were. Now they're there. You know how things are. So on a general analysis of how bad are things, or how better have things become, or how worse have things gotten, how would you rate them?
Do I have the capacity to rate the government? Well, to be frank, I don't have the capacity. I don't think I do have the capacity to rate the government in that sense. So as much as I want to make a conclusion about how the situation looks, you understand, we can't take away the fact that the military are still trying as much as they can. They're still doing their own part. Yeah. It might not be enough for us because we want things to change.
I mean, lives have been lost. You can't blame people.
I get it completely. But with this kind of situation, it's deteriorating. And as it deteriorates, if there are not measures put in place to like plug it in and just hold it right there, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. Just like when the military first started, they came in, pushed the insurgents out of particular areas, like doing intense work. Do you get what I mean? They did that from the beginning. But things change, things evolve. Yeah. The question is, has there been a collaboration of information moving in between all the military operations that we have? Are there information going around and making each person that maybe, for example, they've pushed out Boko Haram in this particular area? Is there information maybe from the humans living there that Boko Haram came back and that has been, transmitted to other places where they can come back and do and clean up again? Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So the truth is, the military is trying, but we hope that they drive in far.
On a final note, now before we go, what advice would you give if you sat with anybody in government who works in intelligence in the security sector, or just saying this is what we should be doing? What do you think Nigeria should be doing? Maybe on a general perspective or specifically with regards to certain regions or whatever's going on anywhere.
Yeah, for me, the first thing for me, I think is a mantra: collaboration. Collaboration helps us to understand a particular area. For example, you might be an expert in Northeast now, like Northeast, the length and breadth, every road, I bring you in. As a leader, I will bring you in. I know someone else that knows about the Northwest. I bring the person in. I know someone else that knows maybe the origin of how some of this violence started. I bring the person in. So by the time we bring our heads together, we begin to find a pathway to bringing out solutions. Because for me, I'll repeat it again, collaboration is one of the things that we are not getting right yet. Because there are key people that know about these things, and we are not finding them to bring in to come and help us to have a broader view. Then the second thing is communication. It is of utmost importance for you to understand what is going on in anywhere, any place you find yourself. The government has to communicate to us what they're trying to do. Now, there is that issue where the government also has to be careful about the communication, because they might have people that are infiltrators that might share this information. So, you balance it out. You do your collaboration with the right people, the people that know what to do, how to do it, the solutions. Then you find a proper platform to communicate. And you don't communicate to us like we don't know what we are seeing, right? Or you don't communicate like we're toddlers. Just communicate to us. Try and understand our emotional feeling at a particular moment in time. Because as these issues occur, people are dying, and that's one thing. That's one thing we need to find a solution to.
Well, thank you very much, Kikelomo. I mean, security is always a very sensitive topic for me and for a lot of Nigerians, because everybody deals with it on a daily basis, and I think it's the one thing everybody can relate to, maybe besides power, the issues that come with it. Thanks for being here today.